What's going on, guys? Playbox, and we're back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. In this one, I want to discuss about who I believe the next LF unit should be to get a unique equipment. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, basically after an LF unit is dropped or a Legends unit has dropped, I would say probably like a year or two after they drop, once they start feeling the effects of power creep, they like to, kind of revitalize these units by giving them very, very good equipments to kind of boost their capabilities, right? We've gotten like so many of them over in the past. At this point, I'm pretty sure all the LF Zenkai units have gotten their unique equipment except for Vegito Blue. But if we take a look here, we have the one for FSK Gohan, we have Goten, Namek Goku, then we have Beerus. Beerus, I believe, was the first one to get it. This is modded Vegeta's equipment, Super Saiyan Blue. So the majority of them have gotten it. The last one that has gotten their unique equipment has been Kid Buu, who, if we take a look here based off of these YouTubers' release of their showcases, it's been like a month since they got it, right? So that was the last unit to get their platinum equipment. Before that, it was Broly. I made a video on this one. June 16th, so right around the start of the anniversary, Broly got his platinum equipment. And then we have Cell here that got his right before Broly's, well, not right before, but back in April. So basically like 2 months after Broly's, or 2 months before Broly's unique equipment. And then before Cell, I'm guessing it was Frieza. I think it was Frieza, right? I could be wrong. This was Cell here. And then I think, yeah, Frieza got his around the time where LOE was getting buffed, which was around the beginning of the year. So around in January, which would line up. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Frieza that got his next unique equipment. It kind of took a while between Frieza and Cell's unique equipment. And it's kind of random when they do drop them, right? Like, as you can see, Frieza dropped back in, I think, January, and then Cell April, and then Broly in June, and then literally a month later we got Kid Buu. So they're kind of random at releases, but they usually give them to units that, obviously need the buff, right? And for the longest time, I always thought that whenever they do drop a unique equipment, they usually give it to an LF that, didn't really truly get to shine during their release. Like, if we take a look, Gogeta did not get to shine during his release during the 4th anniversary, and he got his platinum equipment. Super Saiyan 4 Goku was very bad on release, and he got one. Who else was it? The older Zenkai, there has been some sort of, like, a deviation, or I guess you could say it's like 2 parts to this unique equipment. Like, the first batch of unique equipments that we gotten, they were good, but not to the same extent as they are now. Like, nowadays they make these equipments so good that they completely change how good these units perform, which is a good thing, right? Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Frieza. Although Full Power Frieza was good on release, he did not have a tag. Like, the LOE team was completely gone, was nowhere to be found, so they gave it to him when LOE started getting buffs, which kind of makes sense, I guess. And then who else? Broly was solid on release. He didn't age as good, I would say, so I guess that's why they gave it to him. Cell, same thing. He was very good on release, but quickly, the second Legends Festival started, which was literally a month after his release, he disappeared because they hyper-focused his kit on countering hybrids, and hybrids fell off the meta literally as Legends Festival started, so I guess that's why I gave it to him. And then Kid Buu. Kid Buu was, I would say, the best LF on his release. But I guess, honestly, I guess he kind of aged out and then he decided to give it to him. Honestly, I would have gave it to someone else other than this Kid Buu. I think there's a lot of other units that could have used it instead of Kid Buu, but it is what it is. So in this one, we're going to be going over which LF unit I believe can get platinum equipment, and potentially, I guess, in Zenkai. I mean, it's pretty, I guess I'll save that for another one, but this will be strictly for platinum equipment. So if we go based off of the latest or the oldest unit to not have a unique equipment, it would be Vegito Blue. Vegito Blue obviously needs his unique equipment, but they did give this guy his Zenkai before his unique equipment. He's actually the first LF Zenkai to get their Zenkai before getting their unique equipment. Literally every single one of the LF Zenkais have their unique equipment, so it's kind of weird there. I don't know why they're so scared of dropping this dude's platinum equipment. It's just weird, but it is what it is. And since they did give him his Zenkai literally mid-anniversary, I don't think they will give it anytime soon, but we'll have to wait and see what they do with that. But Based off of that, I do think there are a couple candidates here that I think should get it. There are actually a few, because a lot of these LFs aren't that great, right? So I guess we can go on to the next unit that is the oldest, and it would be Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. Now, he's a bit weird, because I do think he deserves a platinum equipment, but I also feel like he deserves a Zenkai as well. I honestly believe he is the next in line to get a Zenkai Awakening. Majin Vegeta was the last one to get it, which was recently, and he is the LF that dropped right after him during Legends Festival. So it would make sense for him to get his Zenkai, most likely within 2 months, probably around October is when I would predict his Zenkai to drop. But if they don't want him to be the next Zenkai, then he should probably be the next one to get a unique equipment. He's just not great, right? Damage very poor, defense are very poor. Only thing he has going for him is like a Supreme Ultimate, the cover change, and of course the automatic dodge, right? If I were to give him a unique equipment, definitely would focus more on his defenses. Give him some health, some base defense, strike defense, blast defense, all that stuff. Which is obviously going to be given to him regardless, because all these unique equipments usually have all that stuff, right? Then obviously focus more on his damage, and then something I usually want them to reserve the third slot to kind of give them something that would work well with their kit. We saw it with Gogeta, where they buffed his anti-revival mechanic. We saw it with Cell, where he starts off the match with 35% of his unique gauge. So something to kind of tie in with his unique gauge would be kind of cool. Like maybe every time he dodges, he gets ki or something like that. Something to kind of spice up his unique gauge, right? Because right now it is only dodging and nothing else, which is already good in itself. But maybe giving some more stuff, like maybe potentially like ki and some damage inflicted, that would be really cool. Or just if they want to go straight up, give him pure strike attack and blast attack like they did with Super Saiyan 4. I guess that would work as well, because I highly doubt they would give him a counter. I mean, they can't really give him a counter like MUI Goku, because that would basically have to give him some new animations, which I think they would probably save it for a new Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. But it is what it is, right? He needs pretty much everything. He needs defense, he needs offense, he needs health, he needs all of it to really save him. So that's gonna be for Sign. Let's go on to the next one here. There are a couple one. I do think one that is, I believe, should probably get it sooner rather than later is this LF Bardock. Now, LF Bardock is, would I say that he's the most underwhelming LF on release? I honestly think he is. I can't think of, I think it's tied with Rose, because Rose was not good on release. He wasn't good on release. Super Saiyan 4 Goku wasn't good on release. That's why they gave him splats. That's why I do think this guy could definitely use his LF despite dropping literally at the beginning of the year. It could be similar. It could be a similar situation to, actually, it could be an exact situation to Full Power Frieza, where he dropped in August. He dropped in July of last year, and he got his platinum equipment in January of this year. So since this guy dropped in January, it would kind of be like, it would make sense for him to get his platinum equipment next if they were to follow that same timeline there. And honestly, I don't know what they can give this guy, because I think a lot of his buffs comes from being a last man standing unit, which is kind of annoying. One allied is defeated, he gets nullify unfavorable element factor, and then he gets endurance. Does he get? He takes a while to stack up these buffs every 4 timer counts. So I guess maybe getting him to start off with more damage inflicted right off the bat would be the way to go with this guy. Because like as you can see, you need to spend 4 timer counts every time to get his full damage inflicted, and that's 7 times. So 28 timer counts you need to stay in the field to get his damage inflicted. So maybe starting him off with some more damage would be really good. But he does peak out pretty high, like 90% plus a 70 here. Like that's 150 after 30 timer counts, which is actually not bad. He even gets 2 times card draw speed. I didn't even know that, but I don't know. He just never really had a spot in any of his teams, which sucks. I would love to use this guy, but I did not summon on his. I did 1 rotation. That's it. But Bardock, I do strongly believe that he deserves a platinum equivalent. Like I said, better sooner rather than later, because he aged very, very poorly. even though he wasn't that great to begin with, right? So I wouldn't mind him getting a next one. Another one I want to talk about is Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue definitely is getting close to that point where he should either get a Zenkai or a Platinum equipment, because for those of you who don't know, in a couple months when Legends Festival starts, or I guess when in the middle of Legends Festival, end of December, he's going to be 2 years old. Can you believe it's almost been 2 years since Gogeta Blue has dropped? That's actually insane. So he's closing in pretty fast there. And like I said, 2 years later, Vegito Blue got his Zenkai, right? So he was dropped 2nd anniversary, got his Zenkai 4th anniversary. So it could be similar to that. I strongly do believe that this Gogeta Blue is going to be getting a Zenkai Awakening during Legends Festival. I feel like it's 95% confirmed there. It would just make a lot of sense for him to Zenkai during that period. So I don't know if they would want to give him a Platinum equipment earlier and then Zenkai him for during Legends Festival. It would be too much buffs for him. They might just stick to the Vegeta Blue path where they just give him a Zenkai without giving him a unique equipment. But if they were to give him unique equipment, I'm pretty sure it's obvious what this guy needs: card draw speed. So in my mind, it's already confirmed that it's not confirmed, but in my mind, it just makes the most sense for his 3rd slot on his unique equipment to give him some form of card draw speed, whether it be on entry 15 counts, on entry 30 counts, and then on entry permanent. That'd be insane. And then the first 2 slots give him some defenses because he's very squishy, and then some more damage inflicted. That'll work. But card draw speed is something that he needs. Dragon Fist Goku is basically a newer version of this unit because he's pretty much similar to this guy, right? He enters the battlefield, cover nulls, ramp up damage, but he's already like peaked out. He gets you have to ramp up his damage to his unique gauge. And what was the thing? He has card draw speed, unlike this guy. This guy, you want to ramp up with this guy by using Arts card, some Strike and Blast cards, but he has no card draw speed, so it's going to be harder for him to get this fully built up because he has no way to prolong the combo, so you need to gain priority more than once, which is very annoying. Giving him card draw speed would go a very long way, and I don't think they would give it to him on his Zenkai Awakening. I just don't feel like they would give that to him on his Zenkai. I could be wrong and they actually do give it to him, but I just feel like they would rather save that and kind of make profit off of it by giving it into his unique equipment, which would, I guess, make them money through freaking rerolls, I guess. But I strongly do believe that they would probably just Zenkai him during Legends Festival and then give him his Platinum equipment probably another time. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what they go with that. There are still a couple units I do think could use it. Like, for example, I was going to say this Jiren, but despite what everyone says, Jiren is still somewhat decent. He's not complete garbage, right? He's still somewhat decent, so I don't think he can get a unique equipment just yet. Super Saiyan Blue Evolved could definitely use something. And then Created Vegeta could definitely use one. He's complete trash right now, so giving him a unique equipment. What would they give him as a unique equipment? What does he need? He needs damage, defense. What would they, I guess something to tie in with a strike card drawing. He only gains 1. Maybe like per strike card used he gets some more damage inflicted, something like that. Or even buff up his ability to go against Element Blue, which is his type disadvantage. He gets 40% to damage inflicted against Element Blue, which obviously is something, but it's still not that much, right? If he can get like an additional 40, that would go a long way. Then you're gonna start seeing his his type advantage kind of slowly turning into neutral damage, which would be actually really good. But yeah, Greater Vegeta also definitely deserves it. He can definitely get the next one. Like I feel like he probably might get one by the end of the year. I feel like that would be a very good option for him, especially since Vegeta Clan would also like the buff right now, since they're kind of in the process of getting buffed, with the Majin Vegeta Zenkai and stuff like that, and potentially a final Flash Vegeta incoming as an LF. Potentially, we'll have to wait and see for that. But this guy getting an LF Platinum code would definitely go a long way, because that would help Vegeta Clan with their... Wait, first of all, does he buff Vegeta Clan? Tell me he doesn't buff. Tell me he buffs Vegeta Clan. He doesn't even buff Vegeta Clan. He buffs Saiyan, but that would exclude Trunks. Oh my god, this guy doesn't even budge Vegeta Clan. That is disgusting, but wow, that's tough. I guess Vegeta Clan just needs a new red unit. That sucks. But then we finally come to the unit I truly believe should 100% get it. I think there's no other unit that deserves it more than this unit right here. And it's going to be Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. I feel like this guy meets all the criteria to get a platinum equipment. He was mid on release. He's absolute garbage now. He doesn't fit on any teams. He just does nothing. He's just existing. He doesn't do anything good. He's garbage. I truly believe that this guy is probably the worst LF right now. It's really tied between him and UI Goku, and I would almost give a slight edge to UI Goku because of his dodging. This guy does nothing. He does mediocre damage. He doesn't tank as well. The only thing I would say that he has going for him is maybe the blue card with AoE and the Dragon Ball reduction, because despite it saying 15% chance to destroy Dragon Ball on hit, you do get it fairly often. I mean, not that often, but I do feel its effect. It's definitely a noticeable effect. But this guy, man, is so bad. He's so bad. I have him how many stars? I have pretty high stars, probably around the 11 or 12 star range, and he just does not do any damage, man. So what I would want for his unique equipment would be definitely some defense, health, obviously. Strike attack, blast attack, all that stuff. Potentially even just pure strike attack and blast attack, depending on powerful opponent or future battle member. He doesn't buff God Ki, so I wouldn't want him to be God Ki battle member. But then for his third slot, it has to be something to tie in with his extreme bleed. When this guy dropped, they were heavily advertising that, oh, the first unit to do extreme bleed, blah blah blah, and then we get into the actual fight and the extreme bleed isn't really that impactful. So something to tie in with his extreme bleed, I don't know, when opponent is inflicted with extreme bleed, this character gets 30% damage inflicted, 40% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, or plus 10% damage inflicted every time an enemy is inflicted with heavy bleed. Something like that. Something to tie in with his heavy bleed mechanic, which would actually make it somewhat viable, right? Because let me tell you, right now he just doesn't do anything. Actually, his biggest asset would probably be this. Restores health when reaches 0. He nullifies endurance for simply existing, similarly to the androids. But the only units that are meta relevant right now with endurance is Ultra Super Vegeta, a yellow unit. Future Gohan is not really that relevant anymore, but I would say he's probably the second most relevant unit with endurance. He's also yellow, so 2 yellow units that he has type disadvantage on. So it's not really that useful for him right now. So something to tie in with his extreme bleed would be very good. And then he's definitely a fun unit to use. I don't even know if he's fun because he's garbage. You can't really have fun with a unit that's trash. But I mean, looking at his animations, he has one of my favorite strike cards at least. Reused animation for his ultimate, which sucks. I really want a new Rose, man. It's been quite a while. And a new Rose that uses the Scythe would be really good. Not just one that uses it in his LF unit. My ideal unit for this Rose would be an Ultra Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black that uses the Scythe on his strike cards, dude. That would be actually just insane. But an Ultra Rose is... there's still time for that to drop. Probably within the next 2 years. But that's pretty much it for all these. I think these are the only ones that I do believe that could get a platinum equipment anytime soon. Other than that, I don't think anyone else on this list really deserves one. Zamasu, I don't think Zamasu needs one. I think he still fulfills his role pretty well. And despite a lot of people saying Super Saiyan Blue Evolved could use one, I still think it's a bit too early for him. Because I think I'll have to do a revisit on him to see how he does. But I still think he can put out some decent damage. Sort of a Trunks, no, he doesn't need one. Jiren, no. Goku and Vegeta, no. Revival Gohan, definitely not. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, I think everyone else, I mean, MUI, Goku, Androids, and Super Saiyan 3, that goes without saying, they don't need it. But I think that's pretty much it. So My pick for the next one is definitely Super Saiyan Rosy Goku Black, but if I were to not pick that guy, it would be either Bardock or Ape Vegeta. That's just for me. Definitely drop a comment letting me know who you would like to see get their next unique equipment. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe because that shit is so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.